Welcome to A Safe Place with Ellen. January is Stalking and Human Trafficking Month. We are going to be discussing both topics. Today we're going to discuss stalking and what that means for you. Stalking is a pattern of behavior, unwanted behavior. So I have a list of those, so let's get into that. It's unwanted attention, it's contact, it can be physical, it can be technological, it's an harassment. Stalking actually would be if it entices or incites fear or stress. That is the big point when it comes to stalking. If someone is harassing you over the phone or following you or just there when you're there and you're afraid or there's stress, that is the big point of stalking. When we're talking about stalking, you may wonder, why do people resort to stalking? What's going on in their minds or their lives that would make them want to stalk someone? We wonder why people stalk other people. Well, rejection is one of those reasons. It's hard for people to let go, and so a form of harassment is constantly needing to be around them. Contact, any type of contact. It could be at a party and you might have mutual friends and they show up. Constantly there where you are. And if that, again, puts any type of stress or makes you feel in fear, that is stalking. I think sometimes we don't really realize, we think stalking is just somebody in the bushes, somebody just kind of hiding out. Well, it's more than that. It's if there is fear, of course we're going to be afraid of people in the bushes, and that's what we're going to be looking at. What we also want to look at is that person at the party that just shows up, or that person that just keeps calling, and when that instills fear in you, that is stalking. Another reason a person might, stalk would be the intimacy seeker. I want to be intimate with this person. I want to be a part of this person's life. I want to be in their circle. And it's, again, that's when they show up, when they're there and sometimes you might not even know they're there. They're in the corner. They're over there, but they're close to you. That's intimacy. And then they get a little closer and they get a little closer. That would be stalking. Another reason for people, one thing I do have to say here is stalking can be done by both men and women. Men can be stalked as well as women. And I feel like I need to say that because, you've got this another reason, and it could be resentment. You broke up with me, but I still love you. I resent the fact that you left me. I'm going to stalk you. I'm going to stay in your life, that kind of stuff. But that can go both ways. Every reason that we've talked about here today, that can go both ways. It can come from women and by women, to women. From men, by men, to men. Does that make any sense? It's not gender specific, let's say. Anybody, a female can stalk a male can stalk a female. That's kind of what I'm trying to get across there, because I think when most people think about stalking, they think about men stalking women, and that can go both ways. I mean, women stalk men as well, and I just kind of feel like that, we have to understand the true meaning behind stalking. It can be anybody. It could be females. As a matter of fact, it could, anybody. Stalking instills fear and stress. And that's the big point that I think we need to get across. And we don't really talk about it much, but it goes on more than what we think. And I have to say this too. It's a pattern of behavior. You might look at your boyfriend's Facebook and people say, oh, you stalker. Well, stalking is a pattern. It's over and over, and it's consistent, and it instills fear and stress. I mean, we have to know that because we hear it all the time. Oh, she's a stalker. And we're joking, when it's somebody's Facebook or that kind of, or you may see somebody in the same store but it's a real thing. And if you've ever been stalked, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about fear. And I'm talking about that stress. And, you know, you're always looking over your shoulders. And when you realize you're being stalked, it is scary. And it's a concern. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to talk more about this next week, hopefully. And we're going to get a lot more information out there because January is Stalking and Human Trafficking Month. So we've got a lot more in store. Tune in.